Hey Ride or Dies, welcome to the Guiding Chariot. This is going to be our Timeless Tuesday video. I'm filming this on Monday, so hopefully this will be downloaded and uploaded and all that fun stuff in time. Thank you for being patient. I know I didn't put up any videos last week. I flew home and then I kind of had to take a little minute for some stuff, but we're back, we're here, we're going to do it. So just as a little heads up, this may be a little longer video. I'm going to take some time and chat about some things. I'll update you on some things. We're going to talk astrology for a little bit before we hop into the cards. So if you're here mostly for the cards, I'm just letting you know, fast forward a little bit and we'll get there. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on, and then also about the retrograde we have going on with Mars, as well as Jupiter going direct, are the kind of big things I wanted to talk about and go over and just chat with. So anyway, so welcome. I'm the Guiding Chariot. Here we are. Let's go. Side note. So if for those of you who have been following and watching my videos for a while, thank you. This is where I've been sitting all the time. So right by my window. My desk, which you're normally looking at, is right in front of me. We have this guy came while I was on the Big Island. I should have, what's his name? There's an artist, and I just think his stuff is so cool. Peter, starts with an M. I'll look it up. If you guys want to know, let me know in the comment and I'll post it. Oh my god, his stuff is so cool. But he did a series of zodiacs, like different angels for each zodiac sign. So this is Cancer. Oh my god, I'm like in love with it. I heart it so much. But anyway, this is where I've been sitting all this time. Haha. I had a good response from being on camera. So I still need to figure out my setup. I don't think this will be the forever. We'll sort some stuff out. But here we are. And again, thank you for all of you who were commenting during my little trip to the Big Island. It was so sweet. I love hearing from you guys, especially with how things have kind of been evolving and changing. I love hearing what you guys like, what you want to see more of. Helps me to kind of judge and update what I'm doing, so it feels more connected to you and you guys resonate with it more. So again, thank you for all of that. That's all I really wanted to share. Let's get into the astrology stuff. So Mars retrograde, I want to talk about first. Mars aspects, because of my chart and my placements, Mars things always hit me in the worst way. I love it, but I hate it. So Mars retrograde, I feel like is kind of going to do at least one of three things to people. Because you think about Mars, it's our warrior planet. That's where we get a lot of our drive and our motivation and our desire to push forward and to act and all these wonderful things that we need. When Mars goes into retrograde, or any planet goes into retrograde, it takes all that outward energy and redirects it, right? So whatever was an outward journey is now an internal journey, which is hard for Mars, because when you think about it, Mars, our warrior, is always trying to get out there, is to do, to make things happen, to express, and now all of that is being turned around. This is not a direction Mars does very well in, right? Mars wants to do and get out there. So it can be a hard aspect for most. I myself have Mars in Aries, I was going to say in a rough spot. It's not in a rough spot. It's in a great spot in my chart. I need it where it is. I really do. But when Mars gets aspect, especially in a negative way, it like messes me up. If you guys have been feeling really, really stuck, if you've been feeling like all the momentum, even if you even had any, is just gone, like trudging in the mud would be an improvement to what's happening right now. That is a lot of what's going on with this Mars retrograde. Our cardinal signs are probably going to feel it the most. So that includes Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra. Those four signs probably going to feel this Mars retrograde a little bit more than the others, especially if you have multiple planets in any of those signs, right? Because we all have a place for every planet. So you could have this on multiple levels, which is even more fun, right? So what is Mars retrograde going to do? So first off, it does make things feel challenging. It makes things feel slow. I talked about the momentum going on. That's usually what it does to me. Everything feels slow. Everything stops. And it just feels like no matter what you do, we're not making any change. We're not moving forward. We're not getting anything accomplished. But really, all that is teaching us patience. So if it's a change in momentum or a loss of momentum, know that that's giving you an opportunity to review things, to look over things again. Make sure we're doing this the best way possible. It's buying you time to reevaluate, right? So take that for what it is. Another way it can impact people is making them very short-tempered, right? Because a lot of what happens is all of our triggers, all of the things that make us angry or frustrated, instead of having a normal way to express, right? Because it's not going out anymore, now it's going in. So things may be getting expressed on an internal level, or worse than that, they may be getting repressed. So we're just kind of pushing things down, which again, if your fuse is already shortened to this, and then you start throwing all these irritating things up in the, it's almost like taking a bomb and putting it in a like a barrel of gunpowder. Just hide it in there. It's fine. And then just bury it. That fuse is going to set off the biggest bomb ever if you do that. So finding really healthy ways to let go of those, negative emotions, anger, frustration, even sadness, right? Any of those things that feel really heavy, and feel really heavy, finding a healthy way to let those out, right? And for some of us, it may even be an exercise in being vulnerable, being willing to pull a friend, take a partner and be like, hey, I just really need to get something off my chest. And you may not even want to get advice about it or hear their thoughts. I'm not looking for opinions or I just need to let this out. Can you just be my ear for a minute? That will be a thing for a lot of us. I almost want to call you out, Libras, looking at you. My Libras out there who are watching, I love you. And you know exactly who you are. I'm talking to you. And the last thing that Mars retrograde can do, other than, making us a little angrier, a little short-tempered, slowing things down, Mars retrograde also has this uncanny ability, and this is why I don't like Mars retrogrades, to the umph power, is that for some of us, all the motivation we have, all the drive we have, all that energy that made us do things and get up in the morning and work on our projects and complete our tasks, all that motivation can disappear during a Mercury retrograde. Because remember, Mars is our warrior planet. It's that drive to get up and do. When it goes retrograde, for some of us, that takes all that drive away, right? And then we can kind of be lazy, we can become apathetic, or just not have the desire to do anything. And I'll be completely honest, that was kind of a big chunk of why you didn't get any videos last week. Could not be asked. I literally could not be asked. And then it tends to make me super tired. So last week, I probably spent, I can't even tell you how much time, literally knocked out. I would sleep in longer. I would literally get up, have breakfast, and then pass out again. I would take naps on the sofa. I was sleeping all over the place. I'm surprised I didn't wake up randomly on the floor or in the tub or something. Just random. And at least for me, that normally happens at the beginning and the end as Mars is shifting from one state to the other. So hopefully last week will be the end of it and I can ride this out a little bit better. It's only 2 months. Have about, I think it's mid-November, I think. So definitely could be zapping your motivation and your drive, which again, my biggest lesson with that I've had to kind of embrace, is that you kind of just have to be gentle to yourself. If you need to slow down, if you need to take a break, give yourself that time. Don't be beating yourself up the whole time. Oh, I really need to get up and do that thing. Or I really need to, I don't want to waste a whole day. Now, of course, if there are things that have to be done, there's business you have to maintain, that's not a moment that you can kind of okay, let me put it off till tomorrow. So certain things you may have to, still accomplish. But again, this energy, kind of forces you to, okay, so how can I still get what I have to get done accomplished without zapping all of my energy, without wearing myself out. Sorry, I just got out of the shower, so don't mind my weird, wet, crazy hair. So it's, how do I find this balance? How do I appropriately budget my time and my resources so that I'm not super exhausted or feeling burnt out and having, already low energy levels and just depleting them into the negative, because that's going to affect the other two things. Then I get frustrated, then I'm not getting as much accomplished, right? So then I'm beating myself up even more, which is going to put me on edge, and I'm just going to be barking and yelling at everyone. So it's an interesting time for everyone, but remember, cardinal signs, especially for us, definitely something we need to be very conscious of. And I am one, I always believe the universe is trying to give us more and be good to us and get us to elevate. We're never being punished for anything. So this is an opportunity to help rebuild and to strengthen and to learn different things that we wouldn't learn otherwise. So don't be afraid of the retrograde. We just have to learn how to deal and how to handle and how to work with it as we do. So I promise I'll be doing my best. I probably this week, we're probably going to do 4 videos like I did last week. And we'll do them by elements. Actually, maybe I'll do them since cardinal signs are getting affected. Maybe I'll do them by sign types. We'll do the cardinals, the fixed, and the mutables. Maybe we'll try that. I don't know, 4 signs in one video. That would be a little, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'm going to start filming tomorrow, so we'll see what inspiration hits me. But that's Mars retrograde. Jupiter going direct. Great news. Wonderful news. We love Jupiter direct. So this will make things a lot easier. I forget, I think it was May Jupiter went retro. I might be making that up. I think it was like mid-May or early May, something like that. Essentially, with Jupiter going direct, a lot of the introspection, the life lessons, the evaluations, the self-discovery moments we've been going on since, I want to say since May. We're going to say mid-May. We're just going to go with it. Everything internally that's been going on since then, now we finally get to move forward. Now we can expect, those insights, those aha moments that we've been trying to understand and trying to get and trying to kind of open our eyes to. Now those start to come in. Now the opportunities start to open up. Now the restrictions start to release, right? While I talk about restrictions, for Mars retrograde, Mars is also square to Saturn. So again, making things feel kind of tight. Whatever your Mars is, or wherever Mars is in your particular chart, that will kind of show you that area definitely going to feel restricted. So make sure if you have triggers about that area. So let's say Mars is in your 10th house, and so Mars is under this really restrictive energy. So anything concerning work might be a really delicate trigger for you. So you're going to have to be super aware about that, and not let it get to you, and not start yelling at your coworkers or employees or your boss. Not going to be a good situation. We don't want to do that. So just something you may want to, if you don't know where your Mars is in your birth chart, may help to look it up. May even, where is Mars now? I should have looked this up. But that also might be a good thing for you to be aware of, because that also is probably going to get a little hit. But anyway, Jupiter. So Jupiter, opening us up, the insights, the aha moments, all those things we've been internally trying to work on since mid-May, all of that starts to pay dividends. The rewards start to come in. The answers we've been looking for start to come in. So that's great. That's going to be super, super uplifting. So at least in that area, we get to start to move forward. So something we can enjoy while we deal with Mars. Sorry. Triggered. So with that said, I kind of wanted to do this particular reading just about guidance about Mars retrograde, what we can do, what's kind of coming. Who knows? We'll see what comes through. But yeah. Also, as a little preview, I was thinking about it today and yesterday about not only what this video would kind of be like and what I wanted to do, especially having a little week hiatus, what this week's videos are going to be like. And I can't think of anything to do this week except for relationship videos. So we're probably going to get some love readings tomorrow. So if you guys are into those love readings, which I know a lot of you are, this will be your week. So we will see. I feel like I will still do them by elements, but I might just make them a little longer and do like a general read and then maybe pull oracles specifically for each of the 3 signs of that element. So you guys still get something a little personalized. But I kid you not. Relationships and romance is the only thing that's been on my mind. So, most likely going to be doing love readings. Okay. Oh. Oh, now you get to see all the fly. Oh my God. We're not taking all of that. Calm down. Okay. We'll start with these, and then we'll get some more. Oh, these were chatty. All right, let's go. I can't. All right. So we've got the Three of Vessels. So it'll be Three of Cups. Oh, I don't know if will it focus on the cards? Or there we go. That's a little better. So we got Three of Vessels here. Knight of Stones. This is Knight of Pentacles. This is that slow pace, right? But what's nice here, we're still moving forward. It's just going to be slow. We're just going to take our time. And really what that means is that you have to allow yourself to have that time. You know, don't be hard on yourself that you're not doing more. I need you. You've only completed 2 things. I need you to complete 5. Like, remember. So just be gentle with yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. And I will say the ride isn't going to be super rough because we started out with this Three of Cups, right? So there is going to be something to celebrate. There's something to enjoy. This could be, you know, even just being with your friends, right? Lightens that energy. But you're not in a negative space, right? So we may not be moving as quickly as we want. We also have the Ace of Wands that popped out. So again, that drive, that fire, that motivation. So this may be wanting you to move quickly, wanting you to achieve, wanting you to do, right? Lucky you guys that are tapped into this, because my motivation last week was gone. So we're still moving forward, even if it's not as quickly as we'd like. Enjoy that, celebrate that, rejoice in that, right? Because that is definitely something to celebrate, right? Especially with Jupiter going direct, that's opening a lot of doors for us. And like I said, for most of us, I think it's going to manifest more as like those aha moments and getting those insights, all those things that we've been trying to understand for ourselves, trying to learn. And probably a lot of it is internal. So a lot of it's probably about us. We're not taking those, that huge chunk of stuff. With this retrograde, we're fine, or not retrograde, with Jupiter going direct now, no longer retrograde. Now all of that starts to move forward. So we can definitely rejoice in that and be happy about that. Oh, we got a bunch this time. All right, let's see. So we've got 10 of Bows. This would be the 10 of Wands. So again, having to shoulder that burden. You can see it in the image, right? Carrying all this weight. But again, there's a need to be gentle with ourselves. There's a need to be kind, right? So we don't want to beat ourselves up, right? But you know, we have to shoulder this. We can shoulder this. We're going to move it forward. For some of us, it may feel a little heavier. This came out with the Blasted Oak, which is this deck's version of the Tower. So for some of us, there might be something that is crumbling, something that falls apart, breaks apart, comes to an end, especially very suddenly, something we weren't completely prepared for. I know here in Hawaii, we're going through another quarantine, so I'm sure that's going to bring a lot of rough moments to people, especially some of our small business owners. So for some of you, this may relate to some of you. California, lots of unexpected tower things going on over there. Almost pretty much the whole West Coast, all the way up to Oregon. So our hearts go out to all of you. If anyone watching is in any of those states being affected, I am just sending you my best. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what that's like right now. But again, those type of energy, something we just kind of have to shoulder, and we will, right? We totally will. We can. I do firmly believe the universe never gives us anything we cannot handle. So again, one more struggle we get to add onto the plate. Thank you, 2020, right? We also have the Ace of Arrows in reverse. So if you watched my videos before, you know, to me, aces, they're so pure. Reversals really never do anything. This would be the Ace of Swords, like I said. So this could mean communication might be a little slow. Communication might be getting, I don't want to say messed up. That's not the word I want to say. But there may be an opportunity where things are getting misunderstood, right? Could even be messages are being misunderstood. You know, and I will say with Mars retrograde happening, this could be our own thoughts, right? Could also be getting a little muddled, you know, for ourselves, right? Because we may be frustrated with things and spitting things out. This is not a time to be impulsive and to not kind of double check things, right? Count to 10 before you start yelling at someone, right? That's going to be a hard rule for all of us. Like, if you're starting to feel upset and you're about to choke someone out, count to 10, because some of that anger is going to be from this retrograde, right? So some of our own internal dialogues, whether this is to ourselves or what we think about others and judgments and things, some of those could be getting a little messed up and a little funky. And then we also have the King of Arrows, which is going to be the King of Swords. Beautiful parallel right here. So because communication, our thoughts, our how we're seeing things, our perspectives may be a little funky. We might be feeling tired from this retrograde, which is making short. We may be feeling bogged down by this retrograde, which is going to make us feel frustrated, right? We could be so many things. We may be easily triggered, right? So, this is possibly could be coming from a hurt place. We need to kind of embody the energy of the King of Swords, where we are master of the mind. We are in control of our thoughts, right? We know exactly what we want to say. We have a plan for what we want to do. We're not letting all these little things get in the way. We're not letting all these little things mess with the master plan. Just because we're feeling, at a 5 instead of a 7 instead of a 10, doesn't mean we're just going to, wreck house, and because we just want to smash something out of frustration. We're not going to, right? We're going to find a healthy way for that outlet to come. And then we also have the 10 of Arrows in reverse. This is great. So we do have 2 of the rougher 10s, right? Because the other 2 10s are pretty great. But we have the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. 10 of Wands upright because we have this burden we need to shoulder, whether it's the slow pace, whether it's wanting to achieve, whether it's all the responsibilities placed on us. For some of us, it's going to be this tower moment that's popping up, right? But again, it's something you can carry, you will carry, and since it's a 10, this is the end of it, right? It's not like the 9 where there's still more to go. You're at the 10. This is it. This is the last leg. Wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. We also have the 10 of Swords. I love having this in reverse, though, because again, 10 of Swords definitely is the end. It's the end of this ordeal, whatever this is. But the 10 of Swords in reverse, it's kind of like all those swords get to fall out, right? So even though you were stabbed, all of that pain is getting released. You're moving past it. You're moving beyond it. You're not sitting there suffering in it and feeling this massive attack, right? Feeling betrayed, feeling hurt, feeling utterly defeated, right? You're not sitting in that energy. Whether that happened or not, for some of us it may have felt like that. For some of us it actually did happen, right? But we've moved past that. We've moved on from that. And a lot of that energy, especially with this King of Swords coming up, again, although we're dealing with these 10 swords, this is helping us temper and own our position as the King of Swords. So we mentally can rationalize and see why this had to happen. What are we going to do after this? What's the plan to get me past this moment? What am I going to do in the aftermath, right? What do I take with me? What do I leave behind? What did I gain? What did I lose? All right, so here's all the resources. This is what we're going to do, because my master plan is to get down the road to that location. So pack it all up. Let's go. Right? So it's a beautiful moment because of how strong, especially mentally for a lot of us, how strong we are stepping out of it. This is probably my bad for calling out Libras, so all these swords come out, right? So Libras, as my cardinal air sign, this may definitely resonate a little stronger with you than some of the other signs. But remember, this is general reading, so take it as it resonates. Let's get a few more. Oop. Okay. Oop. We got a runner. Hold on. Caught it in my thighs. You're welcome, boys. All right. Oh, we got a nice chunk. Okay. This will probably be the last little bit. Huh. First card I flip over. The Lovers. So it could be dealing with Geminis for sure. But again, I told you relationship stuff for sure coming out tomorrow now. But relationships kept coming up. I could not step away from the idea of having to do love readings, or having the opportunity to do love readings. Like, it just felt right to do that. So relationships may be on your mind very heavily right now, or in this coming week, whether they're romantic, platonic, work, family, doesn't matter. Relationships definitely getting a bit of a stronger focus this week. We have the Seven of Swords, along with the Five of Cups and the Six of Wands. Beautiful. So I will say, where is it? The five. Where is it? Here we go. Five of Cups in this particular deck is slightly different. Normally it's a card of mourning and loss. Here, she's so stoked. She's dancing around. She's enjoying her moment. So it's different meaning. So for those of you who know tarot symbolism, we're like, what? Don't worry. This one's a little different. But let's start out. So we start out with the Seven of Swords, right? Yeah. So Seven of Arrows. To me, this is... Seven of Swords normally talks about deception, trickery, someone lying to you. Some of that is still kind of embodied in this particular deck. To me, what comes through a little bit more, it's more of our triggers, right? Where we feel weaker, where we feel insecure, where we feel, like someone could take advantage of us, where someone could, find that chink in our armor and find their way in and find our weak spot. So we feel, at a disadvantage, right? And again, with us kind of being on edge and feeling frustrated, not a weird thing to even think about happening. Sorry, I just want to see what time was on the camera. So some of us, again, may be super sensitive to things. Some of us may be hyper aware of our weaknesses and our faults instead of our strengths, right? Because that's what where is it? The Six of Bows and the Five of Vessels are really focused on. Let me see. Yeah, you can kind of see they have, this particular deck puts these little keywords on the bottom. So we have ecstasy and abundance, right? Six of Wands is victory, it's reward, it's recognition for sure. The Five of Cups in this particular deck with ecstasy, it's like a reconnection to yourself, right? It's finding those little joys. It's connecting to your inner child, right? What brings you bliss? What lights you up, right? What feels, what connects you to spirit and gives you this desire just to dance and enjoy and have fun, right? So if we are in a place of ecstasy and abundance, why do we need to be afraid? Why do we need to feel weak, right? So remember this, the weakness, the insecurities, that kind of anxiousness in that Seven of Arrows. Remember that's what's being triggered by this retrograde. That's what's being triggered by, the events that are happening around us. And it's not to make us feel weaker. It's not to make us feel less than. That's not the point. But the point is to raise awareness so that we can start to use discernment and figure out what is an actual weakness, where can we put some focus to strengthen, and also what's just an insecurity that we need to let go, that's not serving us, that is making us feel weaker than we really are, right? And that's the moment to kind of realize not only that on a personal level, but then you can also use that to evaluate the group of people you're with, right? Are they even really coming for me? Was that issue even about me? Or I'm just taking it way too personal because I'm feeling a little sensitive right now. Or if those people are really doing that, it's probably a good sign they shouldn't be in the circle, right? So again, take it as it resonates, use that message how you will, but just know that no matter what you're feeling, how crazy it might be, how many swords or arrows feel like are piercing you, it's not, the actual situation you're in is not that scary, and you are still connected to abundance, you are still connected to joy and happiness. All those insecure feelings are just trigger points that you need to kind of process and analyze, whether it's something that needs to be released, something that just needs to be reevaluated because it doesn't really mean anything, or that's a red flag about, certain behaviors you have, or certain behaviors and traits in the people around you that, may or may not be coming for you. So it's something we can definitely look at, right? And again, that's why where's that? Again, that's where this kind of slow pace may come in beneficial. This, although, think of it as, here, so maybe you and a friend are thinking about opening a business, right? And you're kind of planning on starting this brand new endeavor and going in as partners. This slowdown may give you an opportunity to really see, different areas where we need to think a little differently, or we need to be aware of behaviors, right? You may find out that, I take things super personally, or I'm not listening enough, especially when we talk about this particular part of the business. I need to learn to, adjust that so our communication be more effective. Or you may find something about them and be like, wow, I don't really know if I want to be in business with someone who thinks like that or behaves like that. Maybe you find they're incredibly impulsive, especially under this aspect. And it's like, wait, you wouldn't even ask me before you would go and spend, $1,000 of our money? So again, sometimes this slowdown is a needed thing. All right, last little chunk, we have the Four of Stones. So some of us may be feeling guarded, in need of protection. I would say with this card coming up, you are protected. So again, kind of triggered by those insecurities. We may feel weaker than we truly are. We have the Ancestor, which is the Hermit in this particular deck. So seeking spiritual guidance, communing with your angels, guides, ancestors for sure. For some of you, this may be coming in through dreams, which is something that has kind of been popping up in my realm for a minute. I'm not a huge dreamer. I tend to shut down when I go to sleep, so not big for me, but the talking about dreams and the theme of dreams has been popping up a lot for me. So for some of you, that might be a very, very big thing. We also have the Queen of Bows. So Queen of Wands, strong manifester, especially we talked about the abundance already. So you're in a good place. You're in a powerful place. It's a very magnetic place as well, right? But we need to be aware of what we're putting out there. We need to be aware of our actions. And just because we don't see it coming, right? Because she's a magnet. And I think that's the perfect analogy for what's going on right now and how we should be manifesting during this period. Because the Queen of Swords, or Queen of Bows in this particular deck, she's not running out after things, right? She's not actively necessarily doing anything, but she is the magnet. She knows her worth. She knows her talents and her strengths. She's aware of it. She also knows that what's meant for her is going to come to her. So she puts that out, she sends that message out, and she just sits back. Bring it. Right? She's very confident. She knows she's deserving. She knows she's worthy, and she knows it's already hers. So she's letting it come to her. Right? So definitely something to really remember as we move through the next 2 months. Because a lot of us are going to have, may not be every day, but we'll have those moments where we feel like everything we're doing isn't getting us anywhere. Or why can't I just get this one thing to happen, right? Again, don't worry that it's not happening. It's just going to take its sweet time right now. And again, that slow process may be a blessing in disguise. We also have the Queen of Arrows, so Queen of Swords also showing up. And we kind of talked about the Queen of Swords. I talked about discernment. To me, that's the big thing with the Queen of Swords is discernment. Really understanding what's serving you, what's not. And, she can be kind of cold. But here it's not asking you to be cold, but it is asking you to be smart about things. We also had the King come out earlier as well. So another hint that we have these counterparts. We're definitely doing romance readings this week. That's happening. All right. But this Queen, discernment. So knowing what's truly meant for you, knowing what's serving you, what's a distraction, what's a hindrance, and that's got to go. Bye. Like, sorry, just gave me a silly mental picture. That, for some reason, that Queen of Swords feels super, super significant. So using your discernment. And I think it's coming up so big because I don't know how easy it is going to be to use that tool, especially right out the gate for some of us. And this is going to help you, this Ace of Swords, right? So this drive, desire, this passion, what is it you want to be doing? If things don't align with that, that's where this Queen of Swords steps in, right? So even though we may not be doing anything, right? Because some of us, we may not be able to move things forward, take the action we want to for whatever reason, but that doesn't mean this is necessarily gone, right? It doesn't change our plans, it doesn't change our desires, it slows them down a little bit. But this is a window where we can kind of double check and making sure everything we're involved with is properly aligned, right? Because if we start seeing things that don't fit and don't match and don't help us get closer to this, or don't feel like they're in flow with this, that's where this card comes in and be like, well, then that's got to go. That's got to go. Say goodbye to it. Let it go. And remember, this could be a person for sure, or people, but it definitely could also be your own thoughts and behaviors, how you treat yourself, how you talk about yourself, you know, your own mental chatter, you know, what you tell yourself on a daily basis. Some of that definitely is going to pop up, because remember, we have Jupiter, which went direct, which is giving us our insights and our ahas about our self-discovery journey we've been on for 2 months. And we also have Mars, you know, going retro, that's helping us to show a lot about ourselves, where our motivation comes from, what we do with it, how we're using it, as well as where, you know, those little sensitive trigger points are, which we need to strengthen and evolve and, you know, work with ultimately, right? They don't just get discarded. We learn how to use them and strengthen them and deal with those insecurities we also talked about. So it's a nice window where we're getting insights about certain things and how we behave and how we think and what we've been doing to ourselves, as well as raising our awareness on others. You know, the things that trigger us and make us angry and frustrated, you know, yada yada yada. So it's a great window to use the opportunities and the lessons, fuse them together, right? And then ultimately make some choices so that once things start moving forward again, this is a clear path, right? We can shoot this arrow without any obstructions. Even in the card you can see, right? It's kind of like there's this forest and then there's just this perfect opening with the sun rising through. That's what we want. We want a clear path ahead. So a lot of what's going on during this retrograde is opening the path, or at least showing us what trees need to be chopped down, or where do we need to stand so we're lined up for that perfect opening, all right? We're at 30 minutes, I think. We're way past 30 minutes, so I'll cut the video here. So thank you, as always, for all of your love and support while I was, you know, away visiting my friends. Thank you for your patience for last week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I try to keep them around 20 minutes. Got a long one today, I warned you. But again, sending you love. No, you guys are getting love readings this week. That's going to be... I'm excited. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, sending you the best. All my friends on the West Coast, like, sending my love, and hope you guys are staying safe and taking care of yourselves and are not in any danger. I keep seeing all these like pictures of these like red and orange skies, and it freaks me out. It's a little too apocalyptic for my liking. Yeah, like I literally just saw like a fire NATO going around today, and I was like, no, none of that. It's a little much over there. But I love you guys. Take care. Side note, if you guys are feeling low energy, don't know why this is coming through, but for those of you, you know I love me some crystals. I know you don't get to see my desk anymore with all the stones, but because of everything with, you know, my low energy this last week and just not couldn't be asked, I have kept almost any type of jasper. So this is bloodstone. I'm wearing dragonstone. Pretty much any jasper on the planet. So it could be red, brown, I don't care. If it's a jasper, jaspers are great for healing. So if you're feeling a little low and feel like you just need a little bit, jasper's going to be your friend. So I guarantee there's going to be jasper near me for like the next 2 months, somewhere, somehow. But yeah. So, side note, jasper, if you have some, you need a little energy, you need a little boost, feeling a little run down, feeling like you need a little rest, get that jasper near you. Tiger's Eye, also another good one, but jasper's kind of my go-to for it, so just sharing. But I love you guys. Take care. And yeah, I will see you in your videos this week. Bye.